Stun manages to close out Regional in Vegas. Man, I live for this. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. You know what we love to see? When Stun comes out of the woodwork and decimates, destroys, and showcases that even after all of this time, Pachycephalo and friends still can really do things. And then Johnny and a few other people, Asian Persuasion, have, did a fantastic job bringing the spotlight back to this deck. And in the current format, a lot of people really just don't have the ability to handle this. So to see that Stun not only got a top 4 at a regional, the fact that this deck has finally got recognition, and it takes a special kind of format like this because half of your top cut here, actually over half, you had 3 Snake Eyes and you had 2 Fire Kings that this deck actually had to overcome in the course of the meta, which is actually kind of insane to me that, you can see this deck do well. Now, the most other shocking thing about this event, while you had 5 potential fire powerhouses in the event, you had Unchained actually winning the event, which is kind of also crazy to me. We do not have the Unchained list as of filming this. I would like to see that deck come out a little bit later on so that we could actually discuss it, but I think that would be something really cool to see how that deck had the chance to kind of overcome a lot of this as well. And then, of course, we had 1 Kashtira duelist as well. And I mean, we've been pretty aware of the mid-range control aspects that deck can actually pressure down on the opponent. And we've seen the fantastic options that, we get with that deck. So, am I surprised? No, not at all, actually. This is quite an interesting regional breakdown. Let's pass on over to deck list. Alright, so starting things off here, my favorite 19,672th version of the Snake Eyes monstrosity. I'll be honest with you, the more Snake Eyes that I continue to see out here, the more that my brain feels like it's rotting on the inside for this, but it's okay. We're opting for the cross-out detonators because, if you're expecting to run into the same deck infinitely over and over again, well, you're going to try to play cards to kind of counteract it. Yes, as you should be. We are doing the double tack talents, and of course, I'm actually kind of happy to see that this deck did go towards the 1-for-1 side of the equation, because 1-for-1 is just such a stupid good card. Like, the fact that you just deploy this and you look at your opponent and you're like, hey, I'll go ahead and haven't used my normal summon yet, hee. Like, it's actually kind of insane. Also, we're wrapping this up on a nice 42 cards. Shout out to the Moonlit Chill. I'm actually kind of happy to see that this is doing well. But, I mean, Droll's not really getting a lot of mileage for you this format. So, I mean, you may as well play, an extra 2 copies of, your effect Veiler here, just so you can kind of go ahead and do this. I mean, 5 Veilers is technically better than 3. So, just also kind of proves, like, yeah, Ghost Bell is a good card, but, like, Moonlit Chill being able to have that additional monster negation on the field for you, and the ability to force a little bit of damage for you to kind of bridge the gap for the game, I think that's actually pretty important. Now, I want to talk about this. This is our stun pile for this event, and the first thing I'm going to tell you here is, yes, we are maximizing on the triple Fossil Dino, the triple Jowgen, and we are playing the 2 copies of the Barrier Statue of the Torrent. The reason why you're doing Torrent right now is ain't nobody out here, and I mean ain't nobody out here trying to, like, run water anything right now. Alright, I mean, I assume that there could be a possibility, but we're not really too worried about that, alright? Dealing with a water monster threat is infinitely easier than anything else that this format has genuinely to offer. And it's not like, guess what, the Moon Mirror Shield isn't going to come down here and just run these, incredibly strong monsters on in to Value Town. Now, you do see that we are doing the Ecclesia. This is because Punishment is literally one of your best spot removal options that you possibly can have. A Fossil Dino without Moon Mirror Shield is sometimes a death sentence for this deck. Also, the Nadir Servant being able to turn into a utility option, draw 1, and, you know, get the Ecclesia is so broken. Now, the only reason why I feel like Stun even gets the chance to function at all right now is because of the Decisive Battle of Gondola, because this broken card literally says, hey, once per turn, if a card or card you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, we can send a fusion monster Dimensions Fallen of Albaz from our extra deck to the graveyard instead. That literally protects the battle. So if you do deploy a Fossil Die now here, and they do happen to summon, you know, a big Chungas to, you know, run this over, well, congratulations, we can suddenly Decisive Battle, and our Fossil Dyna gets the chance to stick around. I didn't think there would ever be really a time where something like this would actually be relevant, but when you've created one of the best utility options for Stun to be able to use this card and protect their resources, like, absolutely we're going to take advantage of it. Now, some little interesting things here. We still are playing Triple Crackdown. I think Crackdown in the current status of the format is actually very good, because moving those opponent's link monsters or whatever over to your field, literally, depending on how much, you know, they dedicate, or like the normal summon, this card definitely does work. Then you have the 5 protection spells. You do gotta also remember we are playing Skill Drain. Somebody's gonna be like, well, isn't that conflicting? No. There are just some games where, you know, a Moon Mirror Shield on a Fossil Dyna with a Skill Drain face up will win you the game. You have to make, if you're playing Stun, you'll understand that you will have to make sub-decisions in the course of the game in order to kind of allow you the chance to do good. I think this is the best part of the deck, honestly. Marshmallow got to see competitive play in March 2024. Like, think about that for a second. Just this little gumball here was relevant and actually had a chance to pressure the opponent. Good stuff. All right, so that's Stun. All right. Oh, baby. This is our Striker little inclusion package that they were trying in here with some Bystials. Now, first of all, I do want to say, like, it's cool that, like, the Bystials did show up. All right. I also think it's really cool that somebody out here is getting really pushy and reminding me of the old Orcust days out here, where they're like, hey, you know, what if we engage into Hornet Drones, and then we could Hornet Drones back into having, you know, making a token, and we've got a fire monster in the field, so now we can make Hita, and now we can do Hita things. Well, that's what you're looking at here, actually. And I don't know why nobody's tried this incarnation of the deck yet, but I think this does kind of prove that, like, this deck is sick. Like, if you can do this much stuff in a deck like this, you got a lot to think about here. Oh, hi, Kashtira. So, mid-range control is the specialty of this deck. You know, Fenrir and Unicorn here, you're just getting those key peak options, those key answers to your opponent is very good. Hi, Moonlit Chill. I'm really glad to see that you're doing your thing here, a little extra burn damage. And then, of course, the super polymerizations for the Garua and the Mud Dragon. Gotta love the simpler days of being able to immediately out, you know, these troublesome cards that your opponent's attempting to pressure you with. Easy stuff. I mean, doesn't really change. Thrust. Hi, Feather Duster, how are you? And, you know, it's a good day out here when you can see good old Summon Limit getting the chance to ruin some players' expectations. You know, once again, I'm not really all that surprised. We've seen a lot of what I feel like this format actually can do. And these draw packages that this deck does bring with it. Sure. Alright, what else we got cooking back here? Ah, we have more Fire Kings for you. Delicious. Once again, hi Moonlit Chills, how are you? Doing the 1 Arvada, 2 of this, pretty normal. 1 Garunix, hi, how are you? 1 for 1, I feel like this is a little bit more standardized now. And they actually opted for triple copies of the talents. Okay, we have an entire Bystial package in here too. And of course, we are doing a good old Dimension Shifter for the crossout designators, because we are not losing to the random BS that this card can cause. Cool. So what do you guys think about the breakdown for this regional? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.